My name is Kyle Rodriguez. I'm here with Reclaim Church from Peoria, Arizona. Today I will be preaching my sermon titled Obey. I will be using the following passages: James 4:17, James 1:22, Jonah 1 verses 1 through 3, and Isaiah 41:10. How many people here have a parent with a catchphrase? You know what I'm talking about. It's that signature saying that they're always telling you. You got a sixth sense for it at this point. You can feel it coming. For me, my mom is always telling me delayed obedience is disobedience. She tells me this all the time. She's nodding in the audience. And it's genuinely true, even though it can get a little repetitive. But as I've grown older, I've realized it doesn't just apply to regular life. It applies to our faith. It's actually a biblical saying. And I have the verse to prove it. James 4:17 tells us, so whoever knows the right thing to do fails to do it, for him it is sin. God calls us to be active people. He's telling us that if we know the right thing to do and we avoid it, it can become sin for us. The opposite can be said. It's as easy and simple as knowing what is wrong and avoiding it. The word tells us to flee from evil. So we must not get comfortable. Sometimes we can get caught up in this world. Whether it is out of slothfulness or it's out of fear, we avoid God's calling because we know it will cost us the sacrifice of our comfort. James 1:22 tells us, do not merely listen to the word, and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. It is not nearly enough to just read the word. What use would it be if you worked out rigorously and you never once use your muscles? In the same sense, we must work our spiritual muscles and we must apply them to our lives. The book of James was written as an encouraging guide for Christian life. James is trying to warn us against laziness. We must be active in our faith. There is a reason sloth is a deadly sin. It can consume your life slowly without you even realizing it. It affected my life terribly, and it can feel almost impossible to escape. But through the passion in our faith, just as God has passionate love for us, we can escape the slothfulness of this world. And sometimes we avoid our callings not because we are slothful, but because we are afraid. In the book of Jonah, we read the story of a man who feared the calling God had for him. Jonah 1 verses 1 through 2 tells us, now the word of the Lord came to Jonah the son of Amittai, saying, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and call out against it, for their evil has come up before me. This was not something Jonah could just ignore. It was a very clear message that God had for him. But in verse 3, we see the reaction Jonah has. He flees 2,000 miles across the Mediterranean Sea in the opposite direction of Nineveh. And it is, and I quote, an attempt to flee from the presence of the Lord. Jonah was not slothful in the slightest. It would have been more convenient for him to just go to Nineveh, yet he did. Why? Why didn't he just obey? It's because it's easy to get caught up in the limits of what we can do as people. However, part of being Christian is remembering that our identity is in Christ. He is our strength. He is our help. Isaiah 41:10 says, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Sometimes the problem isn't that you're lost. The problem isn't uncertainty. The problem is that you know the path you must take and you avoid it because you are afraid of what it costs to succeed in fulfilling God's calling on your life. Faith isn't about doing small good deeds. It's not about how many prayers you make. It's about the action that you take. It's easy to avoid the hard things, to never pray for that stranger, to never share your testimony, but it's hard to make the effort and step out in faith. We must be willing to sacrifice our comfort in this world so we can ensure the comfort of others in heaven. Do not be discouraged, though, church family, because there are so many examples of people who avoided God's command. From Lot stalling in Sodom, to the Israelites refusing to enter the promised land, and even to Jonah fleeing from the presence of the Lord. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? But guess what? I have good news for you. because Lot made it out of Sodom. And the Israelites made it to the promised land. And Jonah made it to Nineveh.
Yes.
There is hope for you at the end of the tunnel. His name is Jesus, and he's waiting to walk with you. He's waiting for you. On the other side, he has so much prepared for you. You just have to walk through that tunnel. So next time you pray, don't just speak and don't just listen. Act. We must apply the word to our everyday lives. Do not delay your faith anymore. Obey the calling God has for you.